Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to the Fairy Amazon Challenge in The Sims 4. We are following the reign of Queen Supriya Reed Daisy, who has recently celebrated the wedding of Prince Uther and Lady Vivian. Thankfully, the wedding party ended with their marriage intact, but the new husband and wife developed a difficult and strained dynamic, something that hasn't escaped the notice of the court. But now the fairies are more focused on a different kind of celebration. It is the birthday of Princess Jadis, and the entire court is waiting to see what kind of fairy she'll turn out to be. We are picking up at 5:30 a.m. on Friday. It is finally the birthday of Princess Jadis, so let's see what she is going to become, the kind of fairy that she will be, because this might heavily impact the way others view her. Up until this point, her personality has not developed fully, so I can see why some of the fairies might be a little bit more hesitant than others to throw their weight behind Jadis. Even Queen Supriya is still holding on to Lynette as her heir, so this might be kind of the final determining factor for how people really feel about Jadis. So okay, let's blow out the candles, let's make a wish, and see what exactly Jadis gives us. Is she going to be a better princess than her older sister? I don't know. Okay, Jadis. Let's see. And here she goes. Our angry little Jadis aging up. Okay, let me go ahead and randomize her aspiration and trait and be right back. So this is what Princess Jadis has randomized. For her aspiration, she has Friend of the Animals, and for her final trait, she randomized Outgoing. Oh, I feel like that is a serious challenge for Lynette. But let's take a good look at Jadis as she is, like one last time. And then we're gonna jump back in after her makeover to see how different she really looks. I'm excited. I am very excited for Jadis. Princess Jadis is now a young adult, so we're taking a look at her incast. Jadis aspires to be a friend of the animals and has developed the outgoing trait. I'm interpreting this as her wanting to be more devout and making an effort to please the nature spirits so she can have their blessings. I also think teenhood has taught Jadis a very important lesson about the value of relationships and how essential it is to have people on your side, hence her outgoing trait. She's seen the way Lynette destroys the friendships around her, and she doesn't want that to be the way people define her. In terms of appearance, she has a regal and mystical look to her. Her hair is styled in elegant, vintage-inspired waves studded with red gemstones. And her makeup is dramatic, with bold eyeshadow and eyeliner and soft peach-colored lips. She also has her black and silver circlet and jewelry, which marks her as a spare royal. Overall, she has a very commanding aura. And that's all for Princess Jadis. Okay, Jadis is going to call everyone to grab themselves some birthday cake, and while they are doing that, we are gonna quickly go over the faction she declared for. So, with Princess Jadis, all of her green relationships came to a total of 400, and all of her red relationships came to a total of 294, which means, where did Jadis go? Jadis declared for the Harmonious Faction. And in doing so, she has obviously changed up everyone's influence and rankings a little bit more. So let's go through and see the most influential to the least influential fairy we have in court. And I made a mistake beforehand with Vivian. I thought she would have the same amount of influence as her mother and Brent, but that is not the case. She has a little bit less than them. But the most powerful fairy that we currently have in court is Queen Supriya with an influence of 12. After her, we have Katarina and Brent, who have an influence of 11. Then we have Vivian. So Vivian, after her marriage, now has an influence of 10. So she is like the third most powerful she falls into like the third most powerful level that we have in the fairy court, which is wild because she's so young. But this marriage, it really gave her family a boost. And then after her, we have Lady Bren. Bren has a total of 9 influence. So she's a council member, and yet Katarina, Brent, and Vivian still have more influence than her. So after Bren, we have Kayla and Titania, who both have an influence of 8. And then after them, guys, is Princess Jadis with an influence of 7. That is wild. Think about it. Jadis is not supposed to have any influence and any power. She's a spare royal. Spare royals don't participate in politics at all. Essentially, nobility has more power than spare royals do. But Jadis, just because she was smart in the faction she's declared for, she has 7 influence. And right at the bottom of all of this is our flippin' crown princess, Lynette, who only has an influence of 2. 2! That is her influence as crown princess. Her own sister, her younger sister, who is supposed to be a spare and not involved in politics at all, has a whopping 7. Like, that is embarrassing and humiliating. Like, this is how weak our crown princess is. This is how weak our crown princess is. Like, at this point, I'm thinking, how is she going to be able to live up to her mother's reign? I'm pretty sure back in Vampire Amazon, we were discussing how the amount of influence a queen has when she lets go of the throne is basically the standard that her heir has to live up to in order for her to be seen as an equally good queen or a better queen. But Lynette is going to have a lot to catch up to if she only has 2 and Supriya has 12. Like, where is she going to get all that influence from, you know? It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary to think about. Like, Jadis has a much better chance of becoming a beloved queen than Lynette does. It's kind of freaky. But okay, let's go ahead and do some birthday whims for Princess Jadis. So first up, she wants to rile up a Sue. So who does she want to rile up? She has a minus 93 with Vivian, a minus 7 with Kayla, a minus 94 with Sycorax, and a minus 100 with her sister Lynette. And I think she is definitely rubbing it in her sister's face that people listen to Jadis more than Lynette. So she's going to come here, she's going to rile up her sister. This is so sad. This is so sad and so bad, but hey, this is the way things are panning out. Politics is definitely a difficult sphere to be in. It's not all, butterflies and flowers, even though as fairies you'd think it would be. But yeah, she's gonna go rile up her sister. You know, the other thing I actually really appreciate about these fairies in terms of their aesthetic, typically when you think royalty, you think, long, luscious hair and all of that. But I kind of like that our fairy royals, they keep really short hair. That's kind of the style they go for, either bound up or really short. And it has a lot to do with their attire as well. They wear like really high collars. But I really like that. It's different from what you typically expect of royalty. Like, you have a lot of the nobles who wear longer, lusher hairstyles than the royals do. But it's really fun. It makes them look quite different. But okay, she's done that, and now she wants to be friendly with Lady Katarina. She wants to chummy up to Katarina. I mean, Katarina is the second most powerful woman in the empire. The queendom, along with Brent. But Brent's not on the council, Katarina is. So she's powerful, and she has the queen's ear. So let's go and let's see. What do we want to do? We want to be friendly with her. I don't think we want to express admiration. That makes sense. She's going to express admiration to Katarina. So let's go. Let's chummy up to her. Is Katarina going to come here? Yep, to probably wish the princess a happy birthday and such. But look at Jadis. Also, something I've been having an issue with, even though she randomized the outgoing trait, for some reason it's not showing up here. Like, I have tried so many times in cast to give her that trait, but it's just refusing to. I don't know if it's something that I can add in terms of a trait. Can I add trait? Personality trait. Where's my outgoing? Where's my outgoing? I don't see my outgoing trait. Unless she already has it, but it's not showing up. She's supposed to be outgoing as well. It's not even here. Unless she kind of has it, but it's not showing up. Like, I don't see it anyway here. But if she didn't have it, I should have been able to add it to her. What about if I try taking away a trait? Is it here somewhere? I don't see it. So I don't know what's going on. Within the story, guys, she does have the outgoing trait, but I'm a little bit confused about why it's not showing up here. That's okay. Sims can be glitchy. We don't rely on the game itself to tell us what can and cannot be done. We make our own rules, but part of her personality in the story is also outgoing, guys. And I think that sort of cements her as a more trustworthy royal than Lynette. Like, she has, apart from her hot-headedness, she has more of a stable personality than her sister does. Like, the other fairies, they don't really know when Lynette might turn on them or if she will turn on them. Whereas I think with Jadis, if you become friends with Jadis, you can be a little bit more certain about your standing in court and your standing with, you know, the princess. You don't have to double guess yourself or second guess yourself. But how fascinating. How fascinating. We're picking up at 12 p.m. on Friday. I don't know what is going on in this bathroom, why Lynette is convening with Tinka and Sycorax, but Titania is also trying to clean up the sink. We're gonna do some whims, okay? We're gonna do some whims to see what's on everyone's minds. So Titania, she wants to cloud gaze with Lady Kayla, and she and Kayla, we know, have a special connection because they are faction members. Not only that, but they have the same amount of influence in court. So I can see them being kind of good friends. Let's see, deep thoughts, cloud gaze. So let's remove ourselves from this whole situation and go down to cloud gaze and think a little bit, talk with Kayla. I mean, the funny thing is, Lynette is close friends with Tinka and Sycorax, and yet Tinka and Sycorax right now, they don't have any influence. Like, basically they have no say in court, and Lynette has the least. So her whole crowd is not really a powerful crowd. Whereas I think Jadis is smarter with everyone she's building connections and friendships with. Also, something I completely... Are you guys cloud gazing? No? Come on. Something I completely forgot to mention or check up on last time. I only noticed off camera when I was setting up. But remember how in the last episode, Tinka and Jadis had a crush on each other and we found out about that? Well, when I looked at their moodlets, apparently, who was it? Jadis. She actually was angry being near her crush. And Tinka was feeling flirty. So I don't know what was going on there, but I wonder if Jadis was trying to get close to Tinka. Or, you know, she has developed this crush on Tinka, but at the same time that has the potential to get messy, and she's very particular about keeping and maintaining her friendships. So I wonder if she got upset at the fact that she couldn't control her own emotions, and maybe that's why she didn't kind of like Tinka being near her, why that made her mad. Come on, can we cloud gaze? Are we not? What's your relationship with Kayla? Not very good. Well, maybe you want to improve your relationship with Kayla because you're close in the faction and in terms of ranking, so it's probably wise for you guys to build some sort of a friendship. Like, they're not close right now, but they're supposed to be. They have the potential to be. It would be unwise for them not to be. And let's see. Oh, you know what? I think she's struggling with that because they, again, have a bit of a distance between them. And apparently they have a bad compatibility. So they have a bad impression of each other. But I think sometimes, out of necessity, they're going to be forced to work together. That's fascinating. So I think Titania made the effort. She probably has enough brains to realize that it would be better for her to befriend Kayla. But as usual, it kind of didn't go to plan because they just don't gel. At least she tried, though. Okay, meanwhile, Vivian, she wants to get to know Prince Uther. So yeah, everyone's eyes are on her and her marriage. She knows how powerful this marriage has made her family. So I think she is wanting to try and make things work with Uther. Things are scary between them, though. They have a -92 friendship and a -97 romance. I don't know when that happened, but yeah, their marriage is kind of struggling. Let's get to know him. Let's try and get to know him. Oh my goodness. I feel like Vivian would take it very hard if if something happened to this marriage. I think she would try everything to hold on to him for as long as possible. Oh no. Oh no. It's very, very tough and very rough. And I think when they were younger, this is not kind of what they imagined. I also feel like if they had been brought together like this when they were very young, things might have turned out differently. But they've kind of experienced too many things in life. There's too many kind of bitter ends they've seen and had. And so I think all of that is weighing in on this relationship, which is very unfortunate. Princess Lynette, meanwhile, wants to rile up a sim. So let's see who she's gonna rile up. She has a -28 with Brant, a -8 with Katarina, -94 with Titania, a -100 with Jadis, a -95 with Vivian, a -51 with Sycorax, and a -14 with Tinka. You know what? She was in the bathroom earlier talking to Sycorax and Tinka, and she's still talking to them right now. I think Lynette also noticed that Tinka has a crush on Jadis, and Jadis has a crush on Tinka, and she did not take that well, because Jadis is like her biggest enemy, right? Is a huge rival. And I think Lynette feels like she's been betrayed, in essence, by Tinka and Sycorax, because or at least Tinka, she's now getting involved with Jadis, and I think she's more mad at Sycorax because Sycorax is supposed to tell her everything and be her confidant in a way, and yet Lynette was the last person to find out about this crush between Tinka and Jadis. So I think she's very disappointed in both of them and very mad at them. But she's going to go to Jadis and she's going to yell at her sister for basically destroying her friendships, even though it's not Jadis's fault. Like, this is all Lynette, I think. Lynette, I feel, is using her newfound independence and ability to stand up to others to play the blame game, I feel. She unfortunately hasn't learned the foundations of maintaining her friendships and relationships, but her attitude has changed and become really kind of bold and defensive, but she's using that to blame others. I mean, she could have used her meanness, her ability to speak out that Sycorax taught her. She could have used that in a more positive light, but I don't think she does. At least she's not doing it. And oh my goodness, Jadis! You have a thing with Tinka and you're trying to throw like a drink at her sister's face? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, there's drama all around. Queen Supriya, meanwhile, wants to play chess, so let's actually send her up here to play chess. And who is she going to play with? Who is she going to play with? Okay, well, do we have... I mean, Uther will involve Uther as well, but she has the least relationship with Lady Brand. So let's actually go and get it to play with Lady Brand. her relationship with Brent is in the red, which is not good for Brent. It's not good for her at all. But Supriya is going to talk to Brent, and I don't know, I think Supriya would kind of warn Brent to keep Tinka away from Jadis. And this, I don't think, has anything to do with Jadis and Tinka being together and being like a sweet young love. It has nothing to do with that. We know that Supriya has been backing up Lynette quite a bit, even though she's been disappointed in her generally. She's been backing her up as the eldest daughter and heiress. And now that Jadis has become a young adult, she's like outgoing and all of this kind of stuff. She's showing that she has kind of more merit than her sister. Supriya feels even more so the need to defend Lynette however she can, because she can clearly see that Jadis is better than Lynette, and if she can, then everyone else can as well. And she's also been relying on Sycorax and Tinka to back Lynette up and kind of be her friends, right? Sort of like her counselors are for her. But Lynette's relationship or her friendship with them, with the Falcon Russell sisters, is failing because Tinka has become involved with Jadis. And I think because of that, she's gonna be wanting to tell Brent to control your daughter, because her having feelings for Jadis is having repercussions throughout the court. And Brent didn't actually play with her. Brent answered her summons, but she didn't sit down to play chess with her. So I kind of feel as though the queen summoned her up here. It wasn't really a friendly game. She basically expressed her own opinions and she dismissed Brent. She left. I think that's what happened over here. Ay, ay, ay. And finally with Brent, she had something going on here, but I'll have to find something else. Well, be friendly with a non-household sim. That would be Uther. So she's gonna go to Uther, who she had a fight with, I'm pretty sure, at the wedding. She's gonna go to him, and she is going to be friendly with him. Hold on. She's gonna be friendly with him. She's gonna try and... Let's see, let's go here. You know what? Chat about property values, but she might be talking about the value of Uther's marriage. And maybe Brand feels as though if she can, in some way, help the relationship between Uther and Vivian, then the queen might blame her less for her daughter's feelings. Because I don't know if Brant would be... What is her relationship with her daughters? I mean, she's got a 46 with Tinka and a 33 with Sycorax. She's never been overly close to her daughters and as mothering, I feel like, as Katerina has been with her twins. But I don't think she wants to ruin this innocent thing that her daughter has, because she probably feels like she hasn't given her daughters much growing up. Like, Sycorax is always disappointed in the fact that her mother was kind of a nobody in court. And I feel like she would want Tinka, at least, her more favored daughter, to have a little bit of happiness. So she doesn't want to tell her to back off, but at the same time, she knows that she should probably try and please the queen in some other way. Ay, ay, ay. So many things going on with these fairies. So many complicated things. And finally, Queen Supriya is going to be using her fairy powers to influence some relationships in court. And guys, it is so intriguing to me when the randomization kind of feeds into the story that is brewing. So Queen Supriya, first off, is going to influence her relationship with, let's see, her daughter Jadis. And I rolled a 1, so she is going to increase her friendly relationship with Jadis. Right now, she has an 83 friendship with Jadis, but the queen is definitely seeing how meritorious her daughter is and how she's kind of making all the right moves and doing everything that is pretty much the opposite of Lynette. And now she has 100 friendship with Jadis. Look at that. Look at that. But yeah, she definitely favors Jadis. But I think the more she favors Jadis, the more she sees it as a problem in the grander scheme of things. It's destabilizing for the family if your spare is better than your heir. So there is that. And then she is going to move on to another relationship. So she is going to influence... Where is she? Tinka. Tinka's relationship. Where are my fairy choices? She's gonna... Oh, geez, I need some more force. She's gonna influence... Where is it? Tinka's relationship with Princess, or I should say, Crown Princess Lynette. And I rolled a 1. So she's going to try and increase the relationship between Tinka and Lynette. So right now, Tinka has a -14 with Lynette. And let's see how things are going to go once she has the Queen's assistance. Once she has the Queen's help. Come on. Let's take a look. Where's Supriya? Supriya, okay, I think Supriya's coming down. She's going down to do this. Okay, here we go. Here comes the Queen with her timely interference. Okay, Queenie. She might just reverse all of the negative effects that Tinka has had. And now she has a 26 friendship with Crown Princess Lynette. And I think all of this definitely feeds into the story that the Queen does not want Lynette's only friends, the Falcon Russell sisters, to fall out with her. She is kind of desperate for Lynette to maintain some sort of, alliances in court. So she is, yes, keeping a good relationship with Jadis. She's also trying to patch up Tinka and Lynette, and she's using everyone else. She's using the other ladies in her generation to basically create barriers between the younger generation. So it's kind of interesting. Supriya, I think she's a very effective queen because she knows exactly how to use the people in court, and she knows what she has to do. Like, it's important for her to be friends with everyone else, but she can still show her distaste through other people in court. Usually it's the fairies in her council, but she can use other members like Brant to basically draw the line and keep some of the fairies apart that she doesn't necessarily approve of. And in this way, she's kind of pulling the strings in the background. She's influencing the relationships of the fairies. She's making sure that the pieces that are supposed to fit together, and the ones that get in the way are kind of pushed out. And with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.